everybody. Hey, you see Greg Canner.
Jen will be here
Lions
eventually.
fans, do not panic.
Hey, there she is.
Do not
Do
panic.
not panic.
Oh, Canner.
Do not
Who's
panic.
panicking?
I know, it's Overreaction Monday. You know?
It really
Everyone's
is,
all
isn't it?
panicked. They're all like, oh, you know, it's like, okay.
You want to hear the
relax.
funniest thing?
It's okay.
Oh, zoom out. No, zoom out. Back off, Jeff, please. Thank you. Funniest thing is, just going to sit a little crisscross applesauce tonight because I want to get comfortable. Oh, whose phone is this? Jeff, is this yours? Yeah. Okay. Oh. The funny thing about last night, the radio show that I did with Michael Stone on 97 Won the Ticket, the Lions post-game show,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
brought to you by no one that sponsors this show yet. So we knew that because they lost the game,
Yes.
everyone would be calling in. Because people don't call in when they win. There's an inherent need in human nature to complain and gripe, right?
Or misery loves company. And you want to be with your people as you complain about a horrific pass interference call at the end of the game. And speaking of Stoney, you know, he used to be partnered with this guy, Wojo.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, speaking of misery.
Oh.
Hi, Bob.
Hey.
Wojo should be here.
Wojo.
Hey, can you see me?
Barely.
That's okay,
I'm
though.
in you said call from my car.
I know,
so
and that's
did.
okay. Do you have a light that you can turn on in your overhead?
I did. I turned it on. Hold on. Here's another one. Oh, my God. Nobody
oh,
wants
Hey,
there.
there it is.
We just
Oh,
see a
my
floating
Lord.
head. Hey, and by the way, if you want to,
Yeah.
wait, let me just tell the viewers, if you want to join us, you can call us. There is the Zoom meeting ID, 836-080-77309.
Can I
Those
say
are,
one thing real quick?
yes, please.
Panic Lions time!
We knew that was coming.
Do not panic.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, okay. All right. Well, hold off then.
I know. So, Bob, we were there together in the
Yeah.
city of brotherly love. And I might, wait, actually, well, we'll get to the standings in a minute. Canner's got an update for you, Bob.
Oh, boy.
I'm creeping up the standings very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
the
creeping
picks.
all right.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
for
creeping
sure.
all right.
Yeah.
Give me a sense of where you fall on the Dan Campbell, this is our identity, this is who I am, we go for it 5 times on 4th down.
Well, I'm not so much concerned about the 4th down calls individually because I do agree he should be aggressive and I like the analytics. But as that game unfolded, I thought he didn't adjust. And maybe this is something he's going to have to adjust this season with their offensive line not being as dominant as it has been. And that defense, the Lions defense looks so good against the Eagles and they're getting more defensive players back. Might he have to start to play a little bit more to his defense? Like, you can let your defense win. It was almost like the Eagles were going to let their defense control that game and win the game, and they didn't even do much offensively. And I wonder if that's a shift that Campbell has to think about if that offensive line struggles, because it really knocked Jared Goff off of platform and off his game and everything else, and they couldn't recover. There might have to be some, but I don't just mean adjustments on stop going for it on 4th down. No,
Right.
I like that aggressiveness, but you might have to pick and choose a little bit more.
Yeah, and for example, and specifically, the 3rd quarter, the drive where they got down to the Eagles 32, and they were kicking with the blowing flags at their back, and then the other one down at the 3-yard line. I felt like if they would have taken those two and gotten some points, it was 13-6 at that point with that silly penalty that became the extended PAT.
But I think that spooked him. I want to say that Dan Campbell might have been spooked by the fact that kick was so, crazy, the wind blowing it, that he might have thought to himself, I have to be 20-yard liner in to really go field goal. And they weren't 4th and 9, 10, 11s. These are 4th and shorts that they normally convert.
Yeah. To what
And I normally, Hammer, you know this, I normally endorse all the 4th down calls, not just because no, I think analytically and they're good at it, and it almost always makes sense. But sitting there in that stadium with nothing really going on offensively, both of those instances you mentioned, I thought, ooh, I think I would have kicked it there. Oh, and I almost never say that with the Lions.
I'm
and
the same.
They should have.
I'm the same. I also would love to see a little more David Montgomery in the mix with the short yardage. I think they've gotten away from what they did with their toughness, with him being the tone setter and the guy who can get you those hard yards. And I'm not saying that Gibbs can't. Ja has been incredible. I mean, this kid, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He is special. It's not he's going to be special. He's special. But I feel like there is such a great complement between those two games, and also to keep the defense a little bit off balance. I feel like that the Eagles saw them coming and they just pinned their ears back, and boy, did they make life miserable for Jared Goff all night.
Oh, yeah, the Eagles just blew up their plan. And the other thing, too, and I think we saw the first fallout from it, they're going to miss Sam Laporta. He would have either both in run blocking to a certain degree, but also as a safety valve for Goff, because he had no time virtually and was inaccurate when he did have time. And that's another reason why I nudge toward the defense is getting healthier. The offense maybe not necessarily. Again, you don't have to completely change your game plan, but in some situations, you can go ahead and either punt it back and your defense, or take a field goal and your defense can stop them the next time. Because if that's even close to what the Lions defense could become, then they're still in pretty good shape.
That was an incredible defensive performance. And granted, the Eagles offense did not function efficiently, but I do think that the Lions, to a certain extent, forced them into some things they weren't comfortable with.
And gave them a chance. And that's all, these last two losses, the Lions didn't do a whole lot right, and they were in the games very close, which means if they can fix a couple things, get some guys back, that's why I'm not feeling panic.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't feel panic either, but I also, just for perspective, I wouldn't say the Lions have arrived as a dominant defense, because all year long, Eagles, and we've experienced Eagles fans there, they're still uncomfortable with their team, uncomfortable with A.J. Brown and even Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
That offense has not been good for much of the season, that Eagles offense. So
terrible on third down.
Yeah, and I'm not taking away from the Lions defense, because you know who is a star and is headed for even bigger stardom is Jack Campbell. He had an unbelievable game, 15 tackles, got high there to stop, that tush pushing thing. They need to dial that down a little bit. No, but they did stop that. I mean, they did do some good things. They're gonna have to adjust on the fly a little bit.
Yeah, and I think you said it on our pregame show the other day. The fact that they've got 3 linebackers and that they use 3 linebackers, the base defense is actually a base defense as we used to know it in the NFL.
Right.
And it was really it's incredible to watch Barnes, Anzalone, and Campbell just operate the way they do. And even Alex Anzalone in coverage, he had a great tackle for loss. I mean, those guys are flying all over the place, and that's a really encouraging sign, I do think, especially when they've got all of those injuries still to the secondary.
Yeah, and that defense under Kelvin Shepard is very unique, as you said. And you also have Brian Branch coming in from safety as kind of like a box linebacker at times. I do think they can present problems, and they did to the Eagles present problems. But at some point, the Eagles just kind of almost dialed it down, and we're going to win this game with our defense, and they did. And their defense, with all the guys they added, some guys that Lions fans wanted, but it was incredible, and that defense might be good enough to ride the Eagles back to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Let me ask you a quick kind of a reactionary thing about the temperature with these Detroit Lions. We go from that win in Washington and what they were able to do to a really porous Commanders team to the way that
really porous.
Really porous. I was trying to be kind. Stoney loves to use the word awful a lot. Jared Goff was awful. Dan Campbell was awful.
Washington is awful this
Well,
year.
I try not to label
Granted,
people as
half
awful.
their team's hurt.
Yeah, they're a little bit beat up too. But which package of the Lions are you buying, and is this a team that you think can get into the playoffs, a sustained playoff run on the road? I mean, where do you see it? Because we're coming down the stretch now. There's 7 games left, and there's some pretty tough opponents, NFC worthy, teams that are playoff bound and have their own, division titles on the line. Where do you see this team right now?
Well, I do think, they have some tough games, but they also have a pretty good stretch here of home games against teams they should beat: the Giants, the Cowboys, the Steelers, even the Packers on Thanksgiving. None of them guaranteed at all. So I'm not voicing concern about making the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to get the number 1 seed, and they might not win that division, although the Bears and the Packers might be built on a house of cards a little bit. Everybody in the NFL, I feel like, is built on a house of cards, one injury or one rough loss away. I do, in my heart of no way going forward do I think the Lions offense you saw last night is the Lions offense forevermore. And even they'll face some more tough defenses, but they did go into that game with the number 2 scoring offense in the league, and they faced one of the best defenses, maybe the best defense in the league. They will get that turned around to a certain degree, I think. My flip side is the defense for real? Is the Lions defense, how they played that game, is that for real? Or is the Lions offense being poor, is that for real? And I think both of them are not necessarily for real. Like, the Lions defense can be good, but it can't be, I don't think it's that dominant good. And the Lions offense is much, much better than they showed.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Wojo, Canner's going to update you on the standings. Rich Luderman is coming in to join us here, too.
Our
Our
picks
picks
from the pregame show. Wojo.
Oh, you mean the one that I'm in first place?
Yes, you are still in first place. However,
by a thread.
Red hot Jennifer Hammond now only 2 games behind you. Now tied in, still
I've won
in
3
last,
in a row.
but not as bad as Birchie, who's lost 5 in a row. So.
Oh my God!
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woj,
Luge, yeah.
Woj,
yeah.
you got this like Silence of the Lambs look tonight. It's.
He looks like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. You got.
Pay no attention.
That's pretty funny. Anyway. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, that's what Jeff wants you to say. Jeff wants you to say, "Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain."
Do you still hear the lambs, Clarice?
You know what? It is Wizard of Oz week too. One other thing, Woj. I think tomorrow's a big day.
No. Tomorrow, no.
Wait, what day's your birthday?
It's in the month of November.
I have it in my phone for tomorrow.
It falls on the 19th,
Oh,
usually.
it's Thursday.
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday?
Wednesday's the 19th.
Wednesday.
Bob,
are you
birthday,
70
Woj.
yet, or are you 71 this year?
Oh, good God.
This year, I think, is the year I do turn 40, I think.
Woo! I used to be 40.
All right, final question. How was your ride home from Philadelphia?
It was good. The plane was packed and kind of quiet Lions fans.
Yeah.
I feel bad. But you know what? I don't think there's much. There's a little bit of gnashing of teeth, but I think they kind of chalked that one up to they ran into a bit of a buzzsaw. And I don't think I could be wrong, but I don't think Lions fans are panicked per se.
Nope, there's no panic. Lions fans
Do not panic.
No panic.
All right, Bob, enjoy the rest of your night. I know that you've got a gin chair to get to or something like that, a Pistons game to watch.
After he's done driving.
Happy birthday in advance.
Woo!
I'll see you between
Thank you.
now and then, I hope. Hey, okay, all
Hi,
right.
Woj.
Top
Thanks,
job.
Woj. Appreciate you being on
See
here.
you, kids.
All right. He drives very well on his phone
We got callers, so after the
we've
break,
got
let's go to callers.
Okay, we're going to take a break because we've got bills to pay, but we'll be right back with your calls after this on the Sports Office.
Woo!
And welcome back to the Sports Office. And thanks to Chevy, one of our great sponsors here at Fox 2. Luderman, Canner, Hammer. And we have a new caller to the program tonight. We're going to welcome in Pastor Eugene. Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hey.
Hey, good evening. How's everybody doing this evening?
Terrific.
Very
And
well,
I've got to
very
say, love your voice. Those are some
Thank you,
dulcet
ma'am. Thank you.
tones.
So listen, what Wojo was saying in terms of how they needed to make some adjustments, and I totally agree, because once they got in kicking territory, I said it reminded me of the 49ers championship game. Once you get close to the end zone like we were, if they would have been kicking field goals, I said we would have been in good position to win the ball game. Mm-hmm. And I said you play to win the game, and I understand the Lions' philosophy in terms of going for it on fourth down, and we enjoy it when it works. But the reality of it is that close, let's take a field goal. The defense played a wonderful game, and it was just one of those situations where let's get some points on the board and keep on moving. So I enjoyed the game, but we could have came away with a win. I do believe that.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when points were at such a premium and you saw what your defense was able to do to them. I mean, the defense just got big stop after big stop. Even after that interception, they held them to 3. And then with the roughing call on Branch, they stopped him there, didn't allow him to go any further. I mean, they really, they stood tall.
Oh, they did a wonderful job. And I said, this game has changed into a defensive game. They were stopping us, but at the same token, our defense they really played their behinds off. So, hats off to the Lions, but I said, you get that close, let's take the 3 and go back, take the 3, go back. But we have to be able to learn from this situation going forward. So I think once that happens, we'll be able to get to those games where it may not be working on all cylinders, but we'll take what we can get and go back and do it again. So, but I enjoyed the show. What a wonderful show.
Absolutely. Thank you, Eugene.
Wow, great call.
Thank you for being a first-time caller here. We love having your support and your viewership and all of that. So
call again.
Yeah, call again, and thanks for joining us tonight. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have another one, Tommy Carr? Nick. Oh, Nick.
Nick, you were close.
Nick.
How you guys doing?
You were so close, Nick.
That was a tough watch, wasn't it?
J-Mo was close.
Yeah. So I want to talk about where really the Lions can go from here and really what happened last night. Mainly, I really feel like what happened last night is, the Eagles are, in my opinion, I think they're actually better than the LA Rams. So I think they're the number 1 team in the NFC. Plus, they actually beat the Rams as well.
Yep.
So, and I think our defense held them up pretty well, and they have one of the most deadliest offenses, and I think in the league with Saquon, Jalen Hurts, and way more. And the fact that our corners can guard such great receivers, even with all of our injuries on defense, is just absolutely absurd to me. And I really just think that everybody has bad games. And that was just one game, and it was against a really great team. So it happens. Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
And Jared Goff also had a terrible game. But still, he had 14 he was able to get the ball to the receivers 14 times with 255 passing yards, which is around an average of 18 yards per catch. And the fact that you can get 255 passing yards on just 14 throws is just crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's Nick dropping knowledge.
Yeah,
right
Nick
there.
is dropping
That's
a
good
ton of
stuff.
knowledge on
Good
it.
stuff.
The other thing, too, I think that is encouraging to look at a bad spot and turn it into a bright spot. The silver lining is that he is never going to have another day like that with Amon-Ra St. Brown. The fact that he was targeted 12 times, had just 2 catches, and half of those 12 were on 3rd or 4th down, that will never happen again.
And they were one bad call away from having the ball with a chance to go down and tie it. So,
Yeah.
After all of that went down.
officiating.
Yeah, they
And
weren't
I
out
really
of
think
it.
another problem was mainly the field goals. I get we're Detroit and we love getting serious with the football, going for it. We went 0 for 5 though, so I feel like when we went 0 for 3, that should have been the last time we go for it. And if we would have took the field goals in the red zone, we would have been only down 1. And since we stopped the tush push, we would have probably been up. But that doesn't really matter. What I really care about is that very controversial call the refs made. I really don't think it has to be under investigation like the call against the Cowboys a couple seasons back. But that was I always try to find excuses, but that was probably one of the worst calls I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, they should have it was a no call at best, or if not, maybe even offensive pass interference, right?
When you get Chris Collinsworth going nuts on the call, then you know.
Which doesn't happen often. No. Nick, thanks for the call. We'll look forward to hearing from you later in the week with your prediction for the Giants game. How's that sound?
I love it. I'll be there.
All right.
Hey,
thanks,
keep
Nick.
up the good work and go Pistons tonight. They got to beat the Pacers. Can we listen real quick to Dan Campbell before we go to break?
Sure, yeah, let's go.
Dan Campbell spoke today, as he does every Monday, and Canner, you picked out a great soundbite for us. Want to set it up?
Oh, yeah. He still has faith in the offense. Go for it.
I believe in these guys. I think that they're good enough. They know how to play together. We just got to be a little more consistent in areas, and it takes everybody. It really does. We're so close, but there again, we can be so potent. I mean, J-Mo right now is taking off. Gibbs is taking off. I'm not worried about the connection with Saint and Goff. That thing's coming. I mean, it's always there. You know, it's just one of those days yesterday. And we all elevate a little bit, including myself. We're going to be just fine.
They all need to elevate, including himself, right?
They got a big opportunity with the G-Men coming to town. So, this game's behind us. Let's get this thing going on Sunday. That game's on Fox, 1 o'clock.
I cannot wait. All right, we're going to go to break. We've got just a few minutes after that, so if you want to call us, you can jump on in with the Zoom. We can't put it up right now, but you know it. You know it by now. We'll see you back in 2 minutes. Hi. Oh, hi. Welcome back. There's the
Big Ben
Wallace
Bong.
jersey. Speaking of Ben Wallace, similar but different. Jalen Duren back in the lineup tonight for the Pistons. That's a great sign.
Much needed.
Right?
But maybe not needed because they seem to be fine throwing out their backups and beating teams.
Yeah, which is a great sign for their depth. And hey, speaking of that too, the Lions' secondary depth has been incredible.
It's good coaching.
It is good coaching.
It's like you see a lot of teams, next man up. But sometimes the culture and the way teams coach, guys can come in and they don't. I mean, they'd rather have Kirby and they'd rather have Terrion and rather have Reed, but these guys have been doing all right.
Yeah, well, we'll see how much longer they have to go without Terrion and without Kirby Joseph. I will say for certain that Thanksgiving game looms large. And
I think they win 3 in a row. I think they win the next 3 at home.
So we'll put that up on the board.
Put it up.
Love
there.
it.
Canner says 3 in a row.
Do it in
Final
10 seconds because we got 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Well, I can be doing this as we go away.
Yeah. Okay.
Luderman, any predictions from you?
I'll say 2 out of 3.
Okay, which is the loss?
I don't know.
Okay.
We out.
We're
Goodbye.
out. Bye-bye.